Yamato, Vergil's legendary Dark Forged blade, appearing in Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4, but it was originally owned by Sparta and was left to his son as a keepsake. A description from Devil May Cry 1 HD collection when you're playing with the legendary Dark Knight skin says, Yamato, it's the legendary sword wielded by Sparta. It is said that it has the will and the power to divide and wipe out the darkness. So Vergil really fucked up there, but he now owns the sword, and we first see it in Devil May Cry 3, the manga series, leading into Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. We all know this ends pretty badly for Vergil, as he is left stranded in the demon realm, where he then fights Mundus, loses horrifically, and becomes Nello Angelo, or adorns the armour, the Nello Angelo armour. You get where I'm going with this. Alright, I got a little bit more stuff to give you on that. Vergil, when he's down there, is also known as Corrupt Vergil or Super Corrupt Vergil, just if it's not cool enough for you already. And presumably, his sword transformed with him and the armour, so the sword is now this, or the whole title would be this. So we don't see the actual blade that we've come to know and love for a while, until the Order of the Sword recover its shattered remains, because they believe it was used to seal the true Hellgate from the human world. The shattered remains are housed in Agnes's containment room within Fortuna Castle until it is restored by Nero. Okay, stop everything. Okay. Back to the history of Yamato. Nero had it for a while, it went back into Dante's hands, but Dante ultimately relinquishes his ownership over it and gifts it to Nero, who's had it ever since. So the blade, what it looked like, it has changed through the years. I think this is graphical and not lore based. In the original game, it had a gold wrapping around the handle, black ornaments, and the guard was octagonal. In later installments, that guard changed to an oval, and a notable change would be the relief of a dragon at the end point of the hilt. The scabbard, or sheath, I thought it was called the sheath, but either way, that's made of traditional lacquered wood and features several metallic ornaments on its far end. In Devil May Cry 3, it also features like a yellowish cord. There's a real name for it, there it is. And that cord was used to tie it around Vergil's waist. Now that we're on that, this is going real deep, but let's talk about how people wear these. Now, Vergil and Dante tend to carry the sword in their hands. Their father, much like Dante, would wear the sword on his back, whilst Nero absorbs the sword into his devil bringer. Wait again! Leads me onto a little fact about Vergil's devil trigger, where the sheath is attached to his arm, so it's a very cool design and also frees up Vergil's hands to use other devil arms. It's apparent this is a pretty OP blade with tremendous power. It is said to cut through anything, even space and or time. That being said, when the user is weakened, the sword is also, explaining this clip.
You forced him into this.
See, it would just go straight through that, just clean, if he wasn't so hurt. Finally, we have to talk about that judgment cut thing, because he whips out the blade so fast, it doesn't even appear to leave the sheath, and then it creates a distortion in space and time that engulfs his targets with multiple slices in rapid succession. Wow! And then occasionally he'll sheath it slowly, and then when he clicks it, that's when they fall apart. And he can do this from varying ranges, so he can just whoop him. Vergil's style of combat is called Dark Slayer style. And that is all. Okay, bye!